more accurate with how you move. You know, you can take those tippy toes towards your opponent a little bit better. But obviously, keyboard, I mean, being able to turn left or right immediately is also a very big advantage in its own. But as we get started here, we got SnipedSox taking on DirtyDan, starting on Miami Dome.
So keep in mind, your favorite weapon is here. We have the cannon that could be coming out on Miami of all places. This could be a big disadvantage for SnipedSox though. Keep in mind, Miami Dome does have that little ice cream going at the bottom of the stage. If you want to use that cannon as a recovery option below the stage and rotate around, you can't do that.
But with the combos that Cannon does have at its disposal, it does make Miami Dome a very attractive spot to go into. Like, oh, look how easy it was to take out your first stock here. And obviously a fantastic character to be doing that too. Signature kind of giving themselves a little bit of coverage around that ledge.
That being said though, early contention in the grounded works coming out from Snipes though, having a lot of options covered, but it's actually DirtyDan to maneuver and rotate their way around to ensure victory could be abound. That being said though, recover of ground pound does not quite connect. The Seer for the punish from DirtyDan, and again the movement, I gotta say, science experiment could be over. Pretty even across the board.
Yep. Oh, and I like that. Go a little bit below the ledge and actually catch some on the recovery. Not quite taking the stock off the top, but you do have them in a very compromised position. Could potentially eliminate them here. It's just a matter of SnipedSox just looking for a way to snipe a stock. But man, DirtyDan staying elusive.
And now that we're in the late stage of the first stock, both players unwilling to really go off stage. That being said though, that's exactly why. Great punish coming out from the Seer of DirtyDan. Now sword back. Weapon star is there, and now Snipe, only a single unarmed recovery into the air does send DirtyDan away, but sword be sword. SnipedSox have the perfect opportunity to almost even things up.
Yeah, they did take a little bit of damage there, so a little bit of extra credit for DirtyDan, but that's not too much of a problem here, because look, now they have no weapon, and you have the cannon to try and get things rocking, but unfortunately you just weren't able to keep them corralled long enough, and they are now equipped with some gauntlets in hand. As you can see, the combo just was not able to connect there. Unfortunate position for DirtyDan, but as we see SnipedSox trying to find a way to get back to stage, this could be bad news.
Could be bad news. Great combo. Good double nairs coming out from Snipe, but not able to find anything on the ground except for a gravity cancel. D6 sending DirtyDan into the air. No weapon to be found.
Okay, tossing one cannon, picking up another. That's what I like, man. Imagine there's a cannon being thrown at your head. It should do a lot more damage than the other weapons. That's all I'm saying. That thing's
just a little bit.
Woo! But there we go, taking him off the top. Great stuff from SnipedSox. Losing the first stock, but then taking the next two. Beautifully played.
And Sox has had this unbelievable control of the stage. A lot less off-stage play in this 1v1 that we've seen from other engagements, but that being said, Sniped is using the land to their advantage, using that horizontal gameplay, making sure that DirtyDan, no matter what moves, what movement's coming out, there will immediately be a movement-based punish with that horizontalness of the cannon.
Okay, but there we go. That's huge. Oh, was looking for a huge play right there, trying to eliminate that last stock. I mean, definitely with a huge spike. Okay, DirtyDan trying to find a way back to stage. You are playing with fire. What are you doing all the way down there?
Oh, DirtyDan!
And then you can see they're trying to find these ground pounds over and over again, but DirtyDan threading the needle to get back to stage.
DirtyDan's playing a very dangerous game right now. We've seen some gravity cancel light attacks coming up from DirtyDan just to disrupt the movement spacing of SnipedSox, but it hasn't been working out. Great shutdown, upwards, downwards, everyone's going forwards, and DirtyDan struggling to find their way back to the stage.
But there we go. Okay, DirtyDan, a nice little punch to get them off the stage here, but SnipedSox almost taking them with the recovery off the top. DirtyDan trying to answer back with something fierce here. Oh, tries to go for it. Oh, they could put themselves in that position.
No!
Oh, no! You hate to see it. But, that definitely is a feel-bad moment. And hopefully, we can see DirtyDan try to, reel back here like, all right, look, things got a little bit out of control. Things got a little bit out of hand. But you know what? I'm going to take that lesson from game one. I'm going to try to apply everything I need to in game two to try and turn this around. But SnipedSox is definitely off to a great start.
Absolutely. And we were talking about the movement-based options between controller and keyboard. Kind of is a little bit of a joke to be a little bit funny, but honestly, the movement was the #1 reason that whole match went the way it did. SnipedSox controlled the movement, had that conditioning factor against DirtyDan every single part of that journey. But we're not going to waste any time. Switches have gone around now to the Hattori pick from DirtyDan. This cannon, again, controlling the movement of DirtyDan, unable to find proper space, and even spot dodging won't be that effective to take down SnipedSox in this scenario. But off stage, it's a dangerous game to be played.
Dude, they are playing at this ledge non-stop. It's been 30 seconds. Oh my God. Oh, geez, I don't know if you guys know this, but having ground underneath your feet is a very comfortable spot to be in. Okay, but at least we're back on the stage here. We'll see how it plays up. But right now, DirtyDan in a good position. All right, toss the spear, now has sword in hand, and now keeping the pressure up on SnipedSox. Now the spear. Let's see if we can see a little bit of that action that we saw yesterday. Good job. Okay, getting him off the stage. Looking for a little bit of a downer, just wasn't able to get it.
Oh, and SnipedSox being punished a lot now. The comfort pick from DirtyDan. The Hattori now coming down. That was predicted to us going into this, and we didn't see that for game number 1. We saw the Val pick instead. DirtyDan, though. Oh, great spot dodge. That could have been such a big punish from either one of those characters, but no, instead. Off stage, the ledge guard play. Great punish from DirtyDan. For the first time now in this series, gains the lead.
Yeah, with a grand slam style right there, sending him all the way to the opposite side. Definitely a 500-foot home run if I've ever seen one. Yeah. But either way, SnipedSox not deterred in the slightest, sending him back off stage, looking for a big hit to close it all out. Was not able to get it as DirtyDan battles their way back onto the stage, but we'll see for how much longer SnipedSox is looking to put this first stock down.
Great work from DirtyDan. The movement-based options again. With those punishes, it's SnipedSox, though, finally to end that first stock. DirtyDan, a little long overdue. Found a lot of damage, though, before losing that bumper space.
But there we go. The cannon starting to come into play here a little bit. Tossing one at the head. Oh, big combo. Oh, just barely missing out on that. Would have put DirtyDan in a very rough spot. But, you know, somehow, some way, threading the needle, getting back to the stage. SnipedSox is going to continue to put this pressure down. Oh, a great little punish on DirtyDan as well.
And I love the way DirtyDan's playing. The reads are coming through. SnipedSox hasn't really changed their cannon strategy between Miami and Smallhaven. Playing towards the stage, looking to find those punishes off stage for the grounded gameplay, or, well, the lack thereof. And DirtyDan playing almost entirely on the ground, punishing SnipedSox no matter what. And DirtyDan, look at that. Spot dodge back onto the platform, not over. Ooh. For the most part, not overextending off the stage too much.
Oh, okay, not quite taking that stock off the top, but certainly close. One more of those to certainly close this one out. Okay, I like the attempt or the signature there, trying to call out DirtyDan for being a bit aggressive, but DirtyDan not biting on the bait. However, SnipedSox still going to find a way to take that stock out of there and keeping him weapon sharp through the process. How much extra credit can you get here? That's going to be important.
Just trying to maintain that distance away from the cannon. It's not going to happen, though. SnipedSox sending DirtyDan away. This is for elimination stock, and there it is. SnipedSox with 2 left in the bank. Brought it home.
Man, what a play at the end there, too. It's like as soon as, okay, look, I lost the first stock here. That's fine. But now I'm going to take the next 3 just to let you know, hey, man, you're not better than I am right now. I'm going to show you exactly what it's all about. And that cannon gameplay, super on point. There was a couple of blunders there, but you know what? It could be the early day nerves, right? Maybe as soon as you start to play some more of your matches tonight, everything will start to feel a little bit more flowy. Everything's going to start making more sense. But either way, fantastic gameplay for both these players. But SnipedSox definitely coming out as the victor.
Absolutely. I mean, 466 damage, 50 on the sword. And you know what? We talk about those blunders with the cannon. Yes, absolutely true. But I want to give a lot of credit to DirtyDan in that second stage as well, because we'd seen a lot more reads coming through to avoid the cannon and go for an immediate punish. That allowed DirtyDan to find so much more damage that they were unable to find on Miami Dome. And we'll have to wait and see what the future for SnipedSox looks like, because again, we never really saw many adjustments from their end. They were able to be a brute force, absolute destruction machine in those 2 stages, and I think there's a lot of rooms for punish off of that too.
As you can see, literally a 200-point difference in the damage here. So you can definitely see that SnipedSox definitely outperformed, and man, that cannon certainly came into play here. But no upset so far today on stream. But DirtyDan was definitely starting to make a little bit of play in that game too. But as we can see, look at this. Look at the damage just across the board, man. It's just crazy.
I mean, just unbelievable. We had seen 466 off of the cannon, and that's pretty much a going theme that we've seen in pools so far, where each of the players have been super dominant on only one weapon. We haven't seen a well-balanced breakfast just yet. So, no, not evenness across the board when it comes to weapon A, weapon B, and then weapon C, which is unarmed.